afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to debate on the issue of climate change. The climate change is a rapid change in the world's climate. It is causes massive greenhouse gases, including CO2, SO2, and NO2, have concentrated in the atmosphere so much. But now it's the time to consider the consequences we are facing. Even though Mongolia is a very small country, its contribution to the climate is the change. So our team has made a sophisticated plan to reduce the power plant, and we believe that to pollution-emitting alternative is the best
Nuclear
solution.
power plants are very dangerous. Only a little mistake can result in catastrophic results. Also, because we don't have the technology to use nuclear power, it will take many years to only just build the power plant. Therefore, we think we should use clean coal technology. Clean coal technology is basically a two-stage process. In the first stage, the coal is cleaned of its various impurities, and the second stage is called carbon capture and storage. With the use of carbon capture and storage, CO2 is captured when the coal is being burned. After the CO2 is captured, it is sequestered and then stored deep underground. In this way, we can have coal power plants with no emissions and no pollution at all. Clean coal and carbon capture and storage have a very high potential to become the main solution to greenhouse gas emissions. High interest in the technology from the US and the European Union proves this.
I have some questions from Betchen. Can Mongolian government afford to buy SS technology in Mongolia?
Yes, we have the money to afford CCS technology in Mongolia because we have many investments coming in from lots of companies from the outside world, such as World Bank and the American Millennium Funds.
Okay. Then, what will you do with the leftovers from coal cleaning?
We'll use it to make materials such as plastic and use it as a reuse.
We have to say that we totally disagree. Their plan has many flaws and errors, and that prove it's unsuitable for Mongolia. Their main proposition seems to be the use of clean coal and carbon capture and storage, but clean coal and carbon capture and storage technology will take decades to implement in Mongolia. And that would be too late to fight the global warming, because the power plants with clean coal and carbon capture and storage are estimated to be viable and widely available only by 2025.
If we compare coal's role with nuclear power, it's just something that cannot be adequately replaced. This is more clear on global scale. Secondly, solar and wind-powered energies. They're very unreliable, and it's rather expensive to build as well. And also the outcome of the energy is very low compared to other resources like coal and coal. Okay. To generate reasonable amount of energy, we also need lots of other resources to back them up. And these plants also must be backed up by conventional means of energy. Thirdly, biofuels may raise greenhouse gas even more. It's not tested in many countries and are not being used. And compared to other countries, Mongolia's environment is very hostile, and it cannot grow crops, plants, and vegetables as much as others. To replace gasoline, because of the ever-growing demands, crops cannot replace gasoline. However, for that matter, if you can grow crops and vegetables and such, we think that we should leave them to grow to reduce the CO2 level in the atmosphere. Finally, if we agree on using biofuels, it would take decades to finalize the shifts of the technology. And we believe that moving the Gir district is just too impossible. You have to think of the fact that the people who live in Girs don't do it because they like them. It's because they have no money to do it so.
With the most coal. Mongolia has over 150 billion tons worth of coal. Therefore, we think we should use what I stated in our plan, clean coal and carbon capture and storage system. With the use of these two systems, we will have coal power plants with zero emissions and no pollution at all. We will also improve public transportation rather than introducing a new technology which will take many years to implement and has uncertain outcomes. We have planned to increase the number of buses and widen the roads so the increased number of buses can travel without getting stuck in traffic jams.
How can we be sure that nuclear power is safe?
Well, nuclear energy has been perfected, and we've actually done research, and we found out that Candu 3 reactor is perfectly suitable for Mongolia, and it's perfectly safe.
How will the price of biofuels compare with the different price of gasoline? The current price of gasoline.
Okay. If we use the biofuels, the petroleum price will decrease.
Our key solutions to reducing greenhouse gas emissions in Mongolia are our energy plan and grid restrict reduction. Our energy plan produces no CO2 at all and is more reliable, clean and modern. If we replace grid restricts with apartments, we'll not only be living in a modern city, but our environment will be cleaner and more developed. And they've said that we are being too ambitious, but development is based on ambitiousness. And Mongolia is a rapidly developing country, and we have this one chance to direct this development and make our future generations' lives better. So if there is the best solution, we have to go for it.
It's not only necessary to think of the results, but also the path and the process that goes through to reach its goal. Our plan is better on that side, more suitable and inexpensive for Mongolia. Better transportation also is cheaper than biofuel, and we'll see the outcome immediately. With clean coal, we could implement slowly, and it's more affordable, and also it provides all the same benefits. To conclude, our plan is inexpensive, fast, and more suitable for Mongolia.
Сурагч нартай баярлалаа. Хүрэлцэн ирсэн та бүхэнд баярлалаа.
Thank you for the debate and thank you for coming.
Обын тас богино та бүхний асуух асуултанд хариулахад бэлэн байх болно.
If anyone has questions, please raise your hand. And also, the hobby and test team will be available to answer your questions.
How much money and how much time will it take to build a power plant? And what kind of people are they going to build?
The power plant will be built by foreign companies which are experts at building nuclear power plants, and the cost will be approximately $1,028 million. We won't actually be asking for help.
Well,
We'll build it, but we'll pay to funds.
Foreigners will come because Mongolia is one of the richest lands and it has many natural resources, like uranium and coal.
Guys, thank you.
There's a technology called CCS that captures the impurity of the coal and puts it underground.
Last question.
Can you go to the all Mongolian small villages and towns?
Nuclear energy to connect all the villages and small towns to the nuclear power plant would be rather hard, but we've thought about that, and it would be better to build solar and wind power plants to supply little villages with energy.
Okay, guys, let's have one more round of applause for these guys, and then you guys